Okay, I know. I said it a couple days because sick, but I was sick and it was a lot. And I was feeling better and finally getting my voice back and coming back to reality. And that reality was Easter weekend, right? And so it was Easter egg hunts. And I decided to have my entire family over for Easter dinner on Sunday, and it was all great. And then I woke up to the news on Sunday morning that absolutely destroyed me. And that news being that Taylor Swift and her boyfriend of 6+ years are no more. And when I tell you that I was crying like Sadie Sink in All Too Well, while also simultaneously, acknowledging that this is a crazy thing to be doing, I just, I, it was a lot. Really. It was a whole lot, and I don't feel good. I'm not over it. I'm like mourning a relationship that isn't even mine. And yes, I understand that that makes me a crazy person. But, there it is. That's where I've been, and I'm still not feeling 100%, but I think I have to come back and say hi and get on with my life eventually because, it's not my breakup. I I get it, but did you ever wonder whether or not I was a crazy person? I but anyway, this week we are starting Project Soapway, and I'm actually very excited to showcase the three winners this week because they are really awesome humans with wildly different backgrounds and wildly different personalities. And they are also not mourning the loss of a relationship that doesn't belong to them. So they would like me to do this at some point. But, we're starting out with my Project Soapway challenge first, and I will tell you more about it in just a minute. But before I do, hello, I am Mrs. Soap and Clay. Let's make stuff. How's it going, Sudsers? Welcome back to the channel. You are at Soap and Clay, where we make all the soapy things, and you are here for week 18 of year 3, and this is Project Soapway Challenge number 6. And this week's challenge, this particular challenge, was a lotion challenge. And I am very excited to be doing this because while we have done a recipe challenge before, this is the first lotion recipe challenge that we've done. And I was very interested to see what Sudsers would take on this challenge and, show us their lotion skills. And so for this challenge, I did say, just send me the recipe. And that's how we selected the 3 winners, just based on the recipe alone. And so that was a really cool process, I thought, kind of different because I have been into lotions for a very long time. And so I can look at a lotion recipe and go, oh, that's a really good recipe. Or, oh, that's interesting. I haven't done that before. I'd like to see it. So that was a fun one, selecting the 3 winners. And I am very excited to talk to you about those lotion recipes and those winners in the next few days. But today, as I said, is mine. I do the lotion first. I'm going to show you my recipe and we're going to talk about that. Now, this lotion was actually made for Soap and Clay Kidlet number 2. She's had this weird, I'm going to assume it's some sort of eczema thing. It's like they're almost like pox just on her, her torso here. It's very interesting. And it's not bothering her. It's not itching. It's not hurting. It's whatever, but it does look kind of unsightly. And in a couple of them, when they've healed, they scar. It almost looks like chicken pox. We took her to the doctor and the nurse practitioner said that she knew, she thought she knew what it was, but she would wait for the doctor's opinion. And the doctor never gave me that opinion. So I don't actually know what it is, and I keep forgetting to call, but I decided to make her a lotion to see if we could make it go away quicker. And so that's what my recipe is, based on. So we're going to go to the video and we're going to talk about my recipe, what I included, why I included it, and all of the things, there. Okay, Project Soapway is started and we are doing lotion today. Now, I'm essentially going to be modifying a lotion from Ann Watson's lotion making book, Shea Silk and Chamomile Lotion. I really enjoy this book. I think it's a really good one for beginners in the field of lotion making for sure. She definitely simplifies the process and has some really interesting recipes for a lot of different skin needs, really. And so for this one, first up, it is a 70-30 blend. So 70% water, 30% the oils and butters. And we're working with hemp, jojoba, stearic, and e-wax, as well as mango butter. And then we are infusing the water for this guy with the yellow clematis that Alaska Soaper had sent me. And this is me actively still trying to break a Pyrex on camera for you to show, hey, it is possible. It's not possible. At some point, you guys should, or not you guys, but generally people in general that don't understand science or books should stop making it a thing. Anyway, so I am infusing the water solution with the yellow clematis. And the reason I'm doing this is because medicinally, clematis has been used quite a bit to treat skin conditions. And so I thought, well, if we are working on something for Soap and Clay Kidlet number 2 specifically, and these pocks that she has just on the side under her arm, then we should definitely be taking, everything we can get as far as the medicinal use. And on to the mixy mix of this guy. Now, lotions in general, you can do a whole lot with just because there's so many different uses for all of these cool oils and butters and e-waxes and cetyl alcohols and glycerin and whatnot, out there that can really be a huge benefit. And when you are working with cosmetics, it's important to actually think about that and the benefits of your oils and your butters and, any other reagent that you might be putting in. The reason for that is this is a leave-on product. And so while technically we cannot say that it does anything medicinally, we can be conscious in our efforts on making a lotion to have a benefit outside of just moisturizing your skin, even if we're not marketing it that way. So this was the reason why I selected the oils and the butters that I did. First up, that mango butter at 0.2 ounces, 10%, I believe. I wanted the mango in there because while it is a butter, it is going to, moisturize. It's also a dry butter. And so what that will do is help with the barrier of, protecting the skin in case it's some sort of, allergic reaction from, I don't know, her clothing, or it will also, kind of dry out those, little pocks that she has going on. The hemp I included because it is a good moisturizer with a good comedogenic rating, and it also is really good for free radical damage as well as just helping, soothe stressed skin and damaged skin. So I wanted to include that for sure, and that's at 30% in this recipe. Now with the jojoba oil at 30% as well, I included that because it is a non-comedogenic, but it's also hyperallergenic. It helps control sebum, and it's really good for wound healing as well as, its antibacterial and antioxidant effects. Because again, I don't really know what this POC is, so I'm sort of just covering all bases here. And then stearic acid within this, it always works within lotion to sort of maintain a barrier on the skin. So while it is technically the emulsifier, it does help out with skin barrier, so protection from, whatever is going on. And then with the hair and skin e-wax, so I used an e-wax, an emulsifying wax that is high in cetyl alcohol for this guy. So while it is first and foremost, its primary function within a lotion is to, be part of the emulsion to make sure that the solution stays stable. The cetyl alcohol in all of this is going to help provide that barrier as well as soften the skin. And so I'm thinking that will help these, pocks sort of dry out, fade away without any scarring. This is my thinking for all of this. Now, you could really up the awesome with something like this and include some essential oils that will help that process as well. I did not. I wanted to give Scout something that did not smell super medicinal. And so I just put in her favorite scent, which I think is like the black raspberry vanilla, whatever. at this point. So that's what I did with that. You certainly can put in an essential oil if you would like. Realistically, because I am working with a skin condition that I don't know about, I'm not really sure what it is. I probably shouldn't have put in a scent at all. And I also would stay away from the essential oils in this case, just to sort of eliminate all possible factors, right? And sort of figure out what it is that's going on. But with this, again, it hasn't been bothering her. It hasn't been spreading. It's just in one little cluster and it's not itching. It doesn't hurt. There's no issues with any of that. So I thought probably the fragrance, the skin safe fragrance is going to be okay. So that's what I went ahead and did. Now, with the blending of a lotion, if you're not familiar, you work at pretty high temperatures. I usually like to get my oils and my butters around 160, 170 degrees, both of them before I start the process. And then the mixy mix process is usually 1 to 2 minutes long. It's the longest 1 to 2 minutes of my life. And I actually believe I sped all of this area up for that just because it's a lot to look at, but maybe I didn't. And after that, after it's blended for its first blend, I then check the temperature and will then add the preservative as well as the scent. Now, adding the preservative at this time is a good idea because you have to pay attention to the heat of the actual lotion before the preservative goes in based on the type of preservative you are using. And I know we have a ton of questions all the time about what preservative do you use and ... I get those comments all of the time across all videos, old and new, almost every day. I highly encourage you to go check out my preservative specific, video so you have a better understanding of what your preservatives are. Because in actuality, what I would call like Optifin in your country or your area or your company that you bought it from, be calling it something different when in actuality, it's the exact same thing that has the exact same ingredients in it. So just keep that in mind. Go check out that video if you need more information on preservatives. But for most preservatives, it is a good idea to let your solution, get cooler to around at least 140-ish degrees before putting it in and then doing your second mix. Again, 1 to 2 minutes. The whole goal with the mixing is to ensure that your solution stays stable. As we all know, oil and water, they don't like mixing. And so that's the reason for the extra mixes. Now, you can actually mix your lotion longer for sure. Nothing terrible is going to happen from that. You are going to get more bubbles the longer you mix, but some isopropyl alcohol, spritz over the top generally removes all the bubbles, and then you can pour. After the pouring, I let these all firm up and cool down without the caps on so it can lose all that heat and any extra, moisture or whatever that doesn't need to be in there before actually testing. So, that's what I'm doing now. And then we're going to go and check out the final, results and the test of this lotion and, see what Scout has to say about it as well. Okay, now on to the test of this, and this actually firmed up and cooled down really quickly, but I was in a very, very cold room, so that probably had something to do with it. First blush, it feels really nice. It's a very whippy consistency for sure, very delightful in the hand, and also not overly greasy at all, but not one that you feel is going to dry you out. You know how you've had those lotions, usually from like Walmart in a gift sample holiday set or whatever? You put it on and your skin actually feels drier. Yeah, those are crappy lotions. You don't want that. You definitely don't want to put something on that actually wicks moisture from your skin. But for this one, felt really nice, glided on lovely. It has a wonderful feel to it that's, again, not overly, greasy. Something that I can use on my face. And I have used it on my face. And we also used it on Scout's, torso. And those pocks, they cleared up in like a couple days, which was super wild. And there it is, my lotion recipe. And yes, I love this lotion because while it is hydrating, it is also doing a really good job of wicking away unnecessary moisture, like from a boil or a pock or something. It's a very, very good lotion recipe. And actually, when I started applying it to Soap and Clay Kidlet number 2, she's been using it twice a day, and her pocks have completely disappeared. So she just has a couple little scars left over, so it's worked in that regard. I actually like it in addition because the consistency and the texture of it is something that I can and do have been using on my face, which is delightful because there are a lot of lotions in the world that are made for like your hands or whatever that you can't necessarily use on your face. And so this one was definitely a winner for me. If you have anybody that has, sensitive skin, itchiness, allergies, gonna get bit by bugs a whole lot in the upcoming spring and summer months, try making this recipe and see what you think. For sure. You could even up the awesome by putting in some essential oils, which I did not do, but that's certainly something that you can do to really encourage all of the skin loving awesome. Now, as I said, in the next couple of days, we will be showcasing the 3 winners of this round of Project Soapway, and I'm very excited for you to meet them and to talk about them, because as I said, 3 awesome humans that are absolutely delightful. And one of them, I think tomorrow's, like, her footage saved me through this whole, mess of everything sucks and I hate it, while the feels of the Taylor Swift stuff's going on. And so I'm very much looking forward to that for sure. She put a smile on my face. As far as other people that have put a smile on my face in the past few days, you know who you are, and thank you for existing. Actually, I'm going to tell you who they are. JJ and Kaylee helped me through this. They worked through the 5 stages of grief with me, and I just kind of keep cycling a little bit. I need to do something, need to, shake it off. So to that end, I am actually going to go, because I know that it may seem like I'm doing a bit and that maybe this is funny or whatever, but it's actually weirdly hitting me in really strange ways. And so I'm not really healed and shouldn't really be in front of a camera. But thank you very much for being here, for existing, for being you. My sudsers, of course, thank you. Thank you for participating in the challenges. Thank you for giving me grace when things inexplicably get weird. I don't have a reason for any of this. It's just, wow. But thank you. Thank you for existing. I will see you guys all again tomorrow for another round of Project Soapway Lotion-y fun. Bye.